everybody. I want to welcome you to this week's episode of Se Vuelve Podcast. My name is Monica, and I want to thank you for being here. This week's episode is actually a part 2 to the previous episode with Cesar. So I highly recommend going back to listen to that one, and then come back to listen to this one. So let's tune in to listen to the remaining conversation with Cesar. Going into Colombia.
I chose Colombia because it was cheaper. That's why I chose it. I knew they were going to accept me because I was going to sign my name. I was going to pay X amount of money. And so I never thought, will they accept me? Nah, they'll accept anyone as long as you're willing to put in the money or put yourself in debt. So I was willing to put myself in debt. So I said, okay, cool. I'm going to learn what I need to learn while I'm there. And once I've learned, once I felt that I've learned enough to kind of like give it my own shot, I was going to leave.
Okay,
That's
so
exactly what I did.
I know. I know. So going to Colombia, like, did you even know anything? Did you know editing? Did you know camera, script writing?
No, nothing.
Oh, wait, that's it.
So what I did do is I did look up scripts and how to write scripts.
Yeah.
I did look that up. But as far as filming and producing and audio, I didn't think I didn't do my research enough to understand that I need to understand.
But the thing is that you were so good. Like, your script writing was really good. Even if you didn't know, you faked it because I had no clue. I felt like a lot of the other students that were in our class, I felt like they came in like knowing like, I know how to edit, I know how to like script write, and you know what I mean? And I was like, oh shit, I don't know. And I'm like, I just basically decided now that this is what I kind of wanted to do. And I'm like, I'm coming to this school to learn this because this is what I want to do, So it's just interesting that we both kind of have that same story. How did you feel about being in a learning community?
Honestly, I felt very uncomfortable because, go ahead.
I'm surprised that you said you felt uncomfortable because I didn't get that. Like, I didn't feel that from you.
No, I felt very uncomfortable, but I knew I was going to feel uncomfortable. So I just told myself, this is how you're going to feel. It is what it is. And just don't pretend. Do what you feel like you can do. And whatever you can't do, try your best. And if you can't, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I never thought of asking for help. I think I never really asked for help during the school year.
No.
I just felt, and just like how you said, I felt a lot of these kids, had done filming and done writing and done all this before getting into college, and I thought, they're advanced. So I kind of used that to my advantage because I thought, okay, I would listen to the kids that said, I did this project and blah, 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 blah. And I thought, okay, I'm going to partner with that person. Because I didn't know shit. I thought, okay, this person can film. They've done filming, so they know how to, work with a camera. I'm going to try to partner myself up with them somehow.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. When I knew my weaknesses, and I knew my interests, and I knew what I was decent at. As far as writing, I always felt I was a decent writer in English classes. So I kind of felt that's what kind of gave me the confidence to say, okay, I'm decent. I could be better. You can always get better. If you suck at something, you don't have to suck forever. You're gonna get better if you try. If you apply yourself, if you do what you need to do. Well, what you need to do is kind of difficult to figure out what exactly you need to do.
You were over here being like strategic and playing checkers or chess or whatever. I'm over here just like I'm just trying to float through this,
Oh, and me too. I thought crap, but and something that that did affect me.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was affecting me at the time. I thought it was annoying. Um, I grew up. I grew up with nothing but Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, and black people. That's it.
Yeah.
And mostly Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, but mostly Mexicans. um, so,
Mostly Latino people. That's.
well, I mean, we're not all the same. We're not.
I know. Oh, I know.
So I went. So going to Colombia, it was like very different because
Diverse.
no, diverse my ass. You you were the only other Mexican person or Latino.
Oh, me?
In all my classes.
Oh.
I didn't know not one other person. I didn't even see them in the hallways. Nobody. It was to the point where I remember I was always used to speaking English all the time so much that when I spoke to an advisor, the advisor was Hispanic and she spoke Spanish. I think she was Puerto Rican. And she says something in Spanish and I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess you speak Spanish. She's like, yeah, you can speak to me in Spanish, and
That's so interesting.
y empezó a hablar en español y dije yo, se me olvidó. Like, I forgot my Spanish because I was just so used to speaking English so much that, like, it wasn't, like, my brain wasn't associating school with being able to speak Spanish. Like, you were the only other Latina that I met in all my classes.
So are you saying it was, like, heavy, like, Caucasian white people? Is that what you're saying? Or is that how you felt?
For sure, and not just that, but like I realized a lot of these people weren't from Chicago.
Oh,
they're from like little ass towns and
well,
all over the country.
I know we had I remember somebody was from Texas, somebody was from California, I think somebody was from New Jersey or somewhere in the East Coast.
There was a kid from Boston.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so. I don't remember who that is, but I guess if you're telling me, yeah.
The skinny guy, I don't know what his name was. The skinny guy.
Justin?
Probably.
You don't remember?
Yeah, I don't remember no way. But yeah, he was kind of funny. I kind of like, he's funny, whatever. But even, I didn't get along. I got along with everyone, but I didn't, like...
You were cordial. You were friendly with everybody, but that you made friends, like... I talk about this in like that episode. I talk about that the people that I literally talk to is you and Aaliyah from England, like two people.
Yeah.
So
I remember her. She was in one of our script writing classes. She was English. I remember that.
Yeah. Let's see. What can we talk about? So, because you're like, I don't remember anything. Do you remember?
No, I do remember. So I just don't remember the people there.
Their names.
I
remember their name. I don't know why. I have like a really good memory, but I don't know. I really enjoyed my time at Columbia. I loved it. I love the production classes where we were like building sets and stuff, where we were doing like live shows. I talked about our VSP. Wait, no, not I did talk about the VSP, but no. Our mini series. Do you remember the? Do you remember the mini series? Like the mini web series we did? Low levels. Low level.
Yeah, dude, I loved doing that. I loved it.
I was uncomfortable, but that because I can see. To me, it's like that screams you. Like you're so like. Comedy. It was almost like dark humor comedy, kind of, sort of, like that's like down your like your background kind of type of thing,
Oh yeah. So I was happy that I was able to write my own, because that was my goal. Like I wanted to, you tell me what your show is, and if it kind of like fits with my.
I mean, that's kind of the job, though. Like, when it comes to TV writing, that's kind of what you do. Me, I don't want to fucking do that shit, So it makes sense that, like, you love doing that.
I loved it because, yeah, I can come up with something myself, but
Mm-hmm.
if you have something that I can bounce off of, I can vibe with, I can, it's sort of like my humor, my interest. Yeah, definitely. And then I'm willing to work with somebody else's ideas, if it kind of like seems attractive. And so we all kind of pitched our show, and I believe that guy that you mentioned, Justin, he's
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
one that was it him?
It
He's
was
the one
yeah,
that
yeah. It was his idea, which is funny because he ended up getting both his scripts like filmed. Like I remember the first one was, I forgot what it was called, but it was something about God. Like I don't remember what it
Oh
was.
yeah.
And then the mini series was Justin's idea, and then each person got an episode. I obviously our miniseries was, even though now I'll be like, if I watch it I'd probably cringe, but our miniseries out of that class was the best. Like, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I saw.
I didn't I
Go
didn't
ahead.
think it was cringe. I thought it was cool. Drug drug dealers. To me, drug dealers and hobos. Yeah, that's right up
like
my alley.
like I said, that's like down your alley. Monica writes like romance. Now she's like, you know what I mean? I'm doing a podcast on like self help, So that was totally down your alley. Was it fun? No, it was fucking fun though. Like it was
Yeah.
completely out of my element, but it was fun. Filming it was so much fun. I think I still have pictures and stuff about like from that.
Yeah, I still have a couple of pictures, and it's funny because I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun filming it and being part of it because I thought, man, this is how you get this is how you film.
Mm-hmm.
This is just obviously not,
On a smaller level.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
smaller level, but smaller. It doesn't really matter whether it's small or big. Like I said, you can spend a lot of money, and the movie can or the show can suck.
Yeah,
You
but
can spend a little bit of money, and as long as the writing is good and it's funny and
yeah.
it's produced cool enough, well enough, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it can hit. So I always thought, oh, this is pretty cool. We're all in a team working on something, and
Mm-hmm.
and I was totally fine with and happy to help them in whatever they needed help with, which is I wasn't able to help too much. I guess I was just filming. I was a cameraman here and boomer guy there,
You were
whatever.
the
So
best camera person. Come on.
so I was trying to do whatever I could do to help make their episode the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that we spent so much time on their episodes, and then my episode, I think we spent like half an hour only.
Yeah, I just
It
remember
was
that. It was filmed
my
like this.
yeah
Yeah.
my. But the thing is, we didn't have a lot of time. We're like, oh, we're all leaving at like 6 o'clock, and it's like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we haven't even filmed mine. But
Yeah.
because I had kind of created
A
I
shot list.
created a shot list.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
created storyboard. I kind of knew, and it's funny because I went to go get some tacos. It was when I was vegan around the time, so
Mm-hmm.
everybody was eating food, and I said I'm gonna go get some tacos. So I walked down around Pilsen, and I got some tacos. And then as I was walking back, I saw it's like a Catholic school,
Mm-hmm.
and they had like a mural, and the mural was all colorful. And I thought, okay, cool, this is a cool spot to film. Nice background, nice amount of space, nobody's around.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I came back, and I thought, okay, cool, that's the spot where we're gonna go to film my episode. And so we did, and I said, cool, it's only like 2 blocks down. We went there, spent half an hour, boom, 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 shot it, and I liked it. I liked my episode. I thought it was funny.
I think I still have it. I have it, and I have it saved. I think on my hard drive. I think
What's on YouTube?
I just was gonna say that. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. That's so
Yeah,
cringe. That's so
it's on
cringe.
YouTube. It's on my channel.
What?
It's on my channel, my YouTube channel. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to watch it.
To me, I thought it was funny. But there was another remember how we did the documentaries?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't find mine, but
It's a,
that was pretty cool.
it's not on your hard drive?
Probably, but
I know I had to dig mine out because now that I'm doing this stuff, I'm like, so you probably have it. I remember I didn't like my stuff. I don't know. I don't. Maybe that's just like I don't know. I didn't like my VSP. My script for that miniseries was fine. I mean, it went with the episode. It was what it was, but yeah.
yeah, no, I I was always excited to produce something and write scripts, and I always thought to myself, okay, I'm not gonna just write anything. I'm not just
Mhm.
gonna create anything. I'm gonna make something that I like, and I'm gonna try to do my best. And if it comes out cool, cool. If it sucks, oh well, it is what it is. I'm not trying to like, not trying to make an Oscar style like little skit or whatever. You know, I'm
Yeah. I just
I'm
felt
just
like
trying to learn.
I felt like literally that miniseries was an opportunity for you to shine. Like I think we all agreed like your episode was like the best episode. Like the script, maybe even like the actual episode because it was so strong. I felt like you were always such a strong writer. As for me, it's really weird that because I went to school for this, I didn't feel like I was a strong script writer. From like what well after that first year, right? I continued to take like more classes, right? So I took like the TV producer class. In that class, whoo, I was like, I'm the boss. Shit, I'm getting
Yeah.
this. I'm here figuring money. I'm figuring out like scheduling, budgets, this, that, whatever. Like that's what I like. I'm a boss bitch now. That's where I'm about. Where for some reason, sitting down and writing, oh man, it takes like it literally takes it all. Like, how do I say this? I have to be motivated to do it because that's just not where I guess where my strong suit is at or what I like to do. I like the production or movement of things. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you were um that was definitely your strong suit. Producing production, telling people where to go,
Yeah.
what to do. Hey, you're on
Mhm.
camera this, you're on camera that. Being in charge of the whole set.
Mhm.
I thought that like it was obvious. Like
Yeah.
that's you said that that's what you wanted to do, and that's
I
what
didn't
you
know.
were good at.
Yeah.
Um, and then I always felt I don't know. I always felt like my strong suit is was like um, right. The script writing,
Yeah.
the technical, the technicality of the script writing and how it's supposed to be or whatever. I
Mhm.
thought
Mhm.
I was pretty good at that.
You're such a strong writer. You're such a strong. Yeah. I to say it like you're a powerhouse when it with your writing. You the way you write. You're
Oh,
how do I say this? I don't know. You just have a vision and you're able to relay it in words. It's easy for you, or at least I think, in my sense, it's easy for you because obviously I can't I can't or I don't do what you do, right? But yeah, I always felt like I don't know. For me, I'll say this: like out of all the students, like I very much gravitated towards you because a we were the oldest students there, and B, I just felt like I sensed your maturity. And to say it like this, I could almost sense that you knew what was at stake because
mm,
coming from not being like rich, right? For me, I was like also working like part time and stuff like that. Like this was such a big fucking investment for me that I had to take this shit serious. Whereas maybe other students in our class, like this was their first year, and I need to do good because I can't waste this money that I'm investing in like college opportunity. You know?
yeah, you're right. It kind of felt like if they were like, we're just here, and
Mm-hmm.
we're trying it out, and whatever. And it's as if um, they didn't have a plan. They didn't have
Yeah.
a plan. They were just there and trying, And where me is like, I have a plan. I had,
Mm-hmm.
and I had just come from, and I knew how much money, like how you mentioned, the money.
Oh, yeah.
You knew how much money you had to spend, and
Mm-hmm.
I had just, I had just came, I was just a couple of years removed from being absolutely broke, like
Mm.
no money
Yeah.
to my name whatsoever. I'm not the type of person that asks my family for money, asks friends for money. No, I was broke completely, like negative money to my
Yeah.
name. So I was working my way up to gain more and more money
Mm-hmm.
at some job, and once I um, once I had enough money to feel like, okay, I'm gonna go to Colombia. Then I went to Colombia. I didn't I couldn't do a lot of things because all of my money was going to Colombia.
Yeah. I
Um,
get that. I.
but like it was cool because I thought, oh, awesome, I have enough money to go to a freaking art school,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
in my mind, I was like, this is what I hear from other people and I see
Mm-hmm.
on TV or something. So yeah, it definitely the money,
I totally get
the
it.
money opportunity was more, was taken more serious, I think,
Mm-hmm.
by us than by our peers.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
maybe I'm wrong. But maybe I'm wrong.
But I
Maybe
also, I
maybe
also
if we
felt,
ask them, maybe if we ask them, they're like, no, dude, I fucking was broke too. I didn't mean to be.
yeah. Well, and it wasn't even about being broke. Because like obviously, if you're coming from Texas, California, wherever you came from, I'm not gonna be if I'm I don't know, at least in my head, right? Unless I'm getting like a full ride, like at the college, like I'm not going to be going across states to go to a university. That's, to be honest, that's part of the reason why I ended up going to Columbia, because I wanted to go to California. That's like, because the industry's over there. So I thought, oh, let me go to UCLA or whatever the other colleges down that are over there. But I don't know if it's wrong for me to say like they were immature, because I mean a lot of them
They
were what they were, yeah, exactly, like
very young.
18, they're like 18, 19, 20, and obviously like we we were in our 20s, even though people were like, you're how old? Like I remember them being like so shocked by you and by me then when we told them our ages.
Yeah. No. And that was one thing that I was ignoring in my mind. I'm like, I know I'm older than these kids, but
Yeah.
that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It absolutely did not matter at all. So I never had that in my mind as something like a mental obstacle or anything like that. It
Yeah.
is what it is. They're
Neither did
children.
I.
Yeah, I thought, wow, great. They're at 19, 20, 21, 20. It was funny because during filming, there was a one time when we were filming at of the, one of the people's houses or apartments,
Mm-hmm.
and we're all just chilling, and it was lunchtime, and I went, I'm like, man, I need a beer. And I went and and I went and
Stop.
I went and got a couple of beers for myself, and I came back, and I was, I opened up my beer and I was drinking it, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody else was drinking Coca-Cola, and I thought, man, super lame. They're super lame. If I was them, I would be getting fucking buzzed at least, or drunk or something, or having
Yeah.
fun. I'm like, I'm having
Yeah.
my beer.
I mean, I was gonna say, you don't know that. You don't know that they were like that. We were on a set. We were trying to get
But
this shit done. And we were chugging.
there's no teachers around, man. I thought,
But
in my head, I thought if I was with people that I grew up with,
yeah,
oh, we would have had cases of beer,
yeah.
cases, not
In
just a
in
six.
the middle of the day, Caesar. Like,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
one of the things that I remember, I was working at this really random at Home Depot, and there is a guy there that he was in the film department at Columbia, and he was a smoker. And he talked about that. He was like, yeah, once you get into the TV and film industry, or the film industry, it's stressful. You have to smoke. I was like, you know what? I'm thankful. I didn't do none of that. I was stressed. But I just got through it. You know.
You know, it's funny. I was never ever stressed. Maybe that's the reason why I smoked, because it helped. But I was never stressed. I was always like, I felt um, lucky. I
Yeah.
felt fortunate, and
Mhm.
I felt, oh man, this is cool.
Mhm.
Yes, some of the deadlines kind of like hit me like shit.
Yeah.
I have to finish this project by
I think the
this
first year. Go ahead.
date.
I was gonna
Go
say
ahead.
the first year wasn't, to me, did not seem like that difficult. I feel like it was the when did I take that class? The following semester? I don't remember now, but once it, like, more of the intense classes, but I was like you, though. Like, I understand, I felt lucky. That's why, for me, I prioritized going to school before I would prioritize, like, working, but I prioritized going to school. I was literally constantly, like, working on homework, like, every single day, or commuting, and then also commuting. So I was like, I literally need to put my time into energy into doing this, and not, like, nothing else, because once again, we paid to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking about it. I thought this shit ain't free. I'm paying for all this. And there's a lot of money I'm paying. Um, the stuff that did kind of stress me out was
Mm.
the BS, the stupid, human thing.
With people,
Yeah, with the people thing.
the problem,
I'm
the
not.
fightings. Yeah.
No, not at all. It's just being in an environment that I'm just not used to being around people. I'm
Mhm.
not used to being around. I could tell that they were kind of awkward around me too, and I felt awkward around them. All that was the most stressful that I could say.
So you're
But
talking about more in the sense of, like, the people, in the sense of, like, just being simply around them, and not
yeah,
necessarily, like, working with them.
yeah,
Mm.
that was
I just
always
I
been
just felt
one of
like
the toughest for me.
I just felt like the at least the first, because obviously we were together for 2 semesters. Like, I just felt like the first semester, you were just very, like, to yourself. I
Yeah,
felt like I got to know you more, like, the second semester, for sure.
yeah, and that's how I wasn't there to make friends. I to me in my brain, I was like,
um,
I'm not gonna make friends, like me friends. Like I didn't
yeah,
even have friends around that time, so I thought I'm not gonna make friends. But I did want to make
connections.
connections.
Hmm.
You always hear that connections, connections,
You
connections,
heard about that a lot there at Columbia. It's like, it's who
and
you know, and especially in the TV industry and film industry. It's like, it's who you know. Yeah.
and that's definitely the case. That is so true.
Hmm.
And if I could give anybody an advice, is be a friendly person that people like,
Hmm.
because if people like you and you're a friendly person and you genuinely like to talk to people,
Yeah.
um, you can go so far, and people are willing to help you out. People are willing and want to work with you, and help you, um, ma- materialize these ideas that you have. I don't have that, so I had to like kind of like understand. Okay, I'm not a people person,
Yeah.
but I don't. At the same time, I don't want people to hate me.
Yeah.
So I'll be reserved, and I'll be respectful, and I'll
I
help out
mean,
when I can.
but that's like, to say it like this, but it's like, once you're in that industry and obviously you made it to a certain point, I mean, that's what you hired people for, like, people to manage
Yeah,
that side for you. So, I mean,
and that's where working with people comes in handy. So if
mhm.
you have something that you need to do, but you're not good at it, you can ask, Bill or Pablo, hey, can you help me out, with this, the sound. I don't know sound too well. Can you help
Mhm.
me with that? And they'll be like, cool, yeah, yeah, no problem. or if you need some help with speaking to a certain person,
Yeah.
um, I don't know, or getting an idea across. Hey, dude, can you
Mhm.
help me, write this email to this person? Can you help me speak to this person? Can you
Yeah.
speak to this person for me, for
Yeah.
me? And a lot of times, people are always willing to help.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the thing, though.
I mean,
You ask
you
somebody,
have to
and they
ask.
will help you out.
Yeah. I think that's, to be honest, that's like my strongest suit is like talking with people or communicating with people. Well, once I'm comfortable, right? But even like professionally, because I know that I have to do it, I'm just very comfortable with like with talking with people. But I kind of, to with your advice, I agree with you. Like that's one of the, I don't want to say regrets. If I could change something, it is, and I think for me, I was affected by my commute. I was literally commuting, like sometimes it could be like 4 hours a day to go to Columbia. You know what I mean, or a little bit less than that. So
Oh, yeah, you live far.
yeah, I live in the suburbs. So I I literally was, I was tired. I would leave early as fuck. Like I don't remember if it was 5, 6, 6. It was definitely like 5 or 6 a.m. And then to start class at 8 or something. I was always early. So I was always like sleeping on the train and then coming back or whatever. But my thing was that I wish that I made more connections, and even maybe like, I don't know. I'm kind of like you in the sense of like when it comes to friends, like I have my core group of friends. I'm good. Like I'm good. If I meet new people, awesome. Which I have met new people through like other experiences. But I wish connection wise, because it is like getting a foot in the door is like, it is difficult. And I think in the specific industry or field, it is who you know.
Yeah, and it's not like it is who you know so that you can use them. It is who you know so you can work with them.
It's a collaboration. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not to use them, it's a collaboration. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to make a project, to film something, it takes people,
Yeah.
and people, plural. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to
It's a
speak
crew.
to one, two, three, four, 5 people, and the more people that you have, the better the protection is gonna be. More than for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but and if you don't have that ability to work with people,
Mm-hmm.
there is a way though to still do it on your own.
Yeah.
It's just harder.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. It's just harder. It'll take you a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But if you work with people, you can not only get your stuff produced and created, but
Yeah.
you can also help them create their thing,
Right.
produce their thing, and that gives you, that in itself gives you experience.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is how this person did it. This is how we're doing it with this guy's project or this girl's project.
Well, that's kind of like what I think Columbia is supposed to be like. It's supposed to be collaborated. Like I think it. Well, I don't know. At least back then, it was supposed to be like, where you have all these departments or whatever, and you reach out to people and you like collaborate and you create these things or whatever. But I think it's just funny because, we did that within our community, but specifically for you, I remember, and I know, no, not I remember, I know, I still have like. I think it's a script, one of your scripts from like the project you're working on.
Oh, the cartoon.
Yeah, your cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
Not maybe. I know you sent me a script, and I still have it. I'm about to pull it up right now.
You know what? I've saved every single thing I've written.
You have?
Thing I've done. Yeah, because I wanted to. Because I told myself. The way my brain works right now is not the way my brain is going to work in 5-10 years.
Yeah.
So I wanted to keep everything.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go back and say, okay, yeah, it wasn't well thought out idea back then, but there's still something that I can extract from this.
I think I have my this is a new computer, so I have like my old scripts maybe in my old computer, and then if not, my hard drive. I feel cringe. I was like, I don't even want to see this stuff. I might read some of the scripts because towards the end of that script writing class that we took together, like I felt like my my writing got stronger, quote unquote. But yeah, so this is from 2019, December 13, 2019. Subject school. Subject. I can't. Subject line, cool script.
Stupid.
I love it. And yeah, it's your cartoon. And it's Pa and Gummo Adventures 1. I don't know. But it's just so funny because you were always like, I need you to read this. I need you to do this. I think around that time when you sent me that, I was like traveling so much in 2019. But you were always the person, or at least that we well, I don't know about collaborated, but I know you felt like comfortable always reaching out to me.
It's always important to get another person's eyes or opinion on what you're creating because, you know, even if you feel, oh, this is awesome, this is perfect, this is cool, I love it, it's funny, it's interesting, you send it to somebody else and they can look at it and they're like, no, this this, and you can grab that feedback and do what you want with it. You can ignore it. You can help, allow it to influence your project, or you can chastise that person for criticizing your work. But I always, as a if you're creating something, one thing is keeping it to yourself and only seeing it yourself and reading it yourself. But then when you want another person to see it, you want another person to give you opinions on it. So, and you're the only other person that you were the only person I spoke to. Yeah. And that I knew that was also going for the same thing I'm going for, or the same field. I thought, who else am I gonna show it to? I showed it to my brother. I would show my projects and my drawings to my brother.
I was the default person just because he knew me that I was going to school for that.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that he respects my feedback, or that I'm, I'm just the default person for Cesar.
Yes and no. I mean, but you kind of knew, you went through the same schooling I went. So I thought, okay, she can give me some feedback. And like I said, I could, I sent it to the people around me, my friends, family. I didn't read it. You went through the same schooling I went through.
Yeah. So I would have the eye to see what needed to be there.
Yeah. At the very least. And another, like you said, you were the default person because no one else would read them. No one else would care. No one else. That's another thing that people need. Like if you're doing something like this, you need somebody to
rely on.
Ask you about it.
Yeah.
Not just rely on, but just ask you about it. Ask you. That's all, because it feels more real when there's another person kind of interested in it or asking about it. Because if it's only you, it doesn't seem real. It seems worthless. It seems pointless. It seems like what am I doing? It's stupid.
Yeah.
Nobody else knows or cares.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody who actually asks about it, or is willing to read it or look at it, then it gives you more motivation.
Yeah, I get it. This cartoon, was it created in 2019? That's when you started it?
No, I had thought about it before even going to school.
Yeah.
Because I saw cartoons, and I'm a huge fan of cartoons.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And I thought, man, creating cartoons sounds like a pretty cool job. So,
yeah.
cool. It sounds funny. I enjoy it. And then I thought, well, okay, let me see if I can make my own cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I started coming up with ideas. Um, and I kind of like would start fleshing it out. And then that's when I started, and that, pretty soon after that is when I went to Columbia College. And I said, I'm going to use Columbia College and the classes to create this idea. To actually
Yeah.
like make create it the way that you're supposed to create it. And that's what I used college for. I
Yeah.
wanted to have it be
It's almost
a
like a
tool.
tool. Yeah. We just said it, like a tool to help you create your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and then get other ideas. I created things or wrote things that had nothing to do with that
Yeah.
cartoon because obviously I want to do other things, not just
Mm-hmm.
a cartoon. I wanted to do other things. So I would, it just gave me the opportunity to write some things down, create some things,
Yeah.
and then have other people read it out loud, and then you can hear how cringe and dumb it sounds. They're like, well, how funny and
Yeah.
cool it sounds,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, because you get, I mean, that, like I said, that space was almost to get feedback and perspective from your peers or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
The best way I like to describe you is like you are, now I can't, what, like Adult Swim. This isn't like, you know, kids cartoons. This is Adult Swim, After Dark kind of type of, like I said, very dark humor.
yeah. If you look at the Instagram page I created for the characters, it's not. I've never liked kiddie shit.
I
I've
know.
never
Oh, I
liked
know.
Disney. I've never
I
liked
I I looked at, I think it was your 4th of July post, and I was like, what the fuck, Cesar?
What was it?
It was like, I think the two characters were outside and on the 4th of July, and they're like enjoying it, and it's like gunshots or something.
Oh, that's the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never like that's one of the things. One of the reasons why I want to go into animation
Yeah.
because you can get away with a lot just because the characters are not real.
Yeah.
Look at Family Guy. Look at South Park, Rick and Morty, The Simpsons. Even
Yeah.
you can get away with a lot that as opposed to real life.
Yeah.
Saying some of these lines, and when you can get the cartoon characters, you're like, it's not even real. It's cartoons. Like why are you mad? Why are you mad? They're not even real.
He's always here talking about me infiltrating. So talk to me about this. Please talk to me about this cartoon. Like, they're so.
So the thing is, I wanted it to be a cartoon since the very beginning, and I wrote scripts. I've written a bunch of scripts, but what's the next step? Getting it animated.
Yeah.
The voices, the sound effects, all that, and I was hoping that I would get a job, or I can work with some other person's project,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually get my project, um, be picked up or something
Produced.
by somebody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but it sounds like, well, yeah, that's how you do it. But there's no one road to get things made when it comes to like filming or animation or film, anything, TV. So as I went through the years, I'm like, man, this is really difficult getting in touch with people who I can work with to create a project. And I found no one. So then I thought, crap, how am I going to create something?
Mm-hmm.
So what I started to do is, I knew I could draw, and I had a decent skills, and I hadn't drawn or created much artwork for like 10 years. And I stopped when I was in my early teens or middle teens. then I thought, crap, I have to, draw these characters and draw the world. So you're making a show viable, so you got to create all these characters and you got to create the world. How is it going to look like?
Yeah.
What tone, what colors, what feeling do you want this express? Um, and then I thought, okay, I got to go to LA to find people,
Yeah.
to work with people, and then that's how you get it created.
Mm-hmm.
I went to LA and I didn't like it.
You didn't like the vibes of, like, did you live there or what?
No, I just went there a few days and I met people. I just and the money.
Yeah.
It's so you always hear it's so expensive over there.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I kind of know I'm like, okay, I'm not willing to live with anyone. I don't want to live with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meaning that I have to like have an apartment by myself and be able to afford it,
Mm-hmm.
afford food and all that. And I know how difficult it is to live by yourself and
Yeah.
feed yourself. And I just thought, you know what, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. So I thought to myself, okay, so if I'm not willing to take a chance going over there and then doing this, then what am I gonna do while I'm here? So I started, creating artwork, using these two characters based on the shit that I like, that I enjoy, that I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, cool, it's not gonna be a cartoon yet.
You're doing like stills. The way I see it, it's almost like stills of like of a scene. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what I thought. Okay, so I'll create these stories and then I'll choose a scene from that story and I'll draw it out or something.
Yeah.
So that's what I started doing. I wanted to create something. I wanted to be something rather than just something in my head.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not an animated cartoon right now, I want it to be something at the very least. So that's why I started, creating art prints.
Yeah.
And art scenes with these characters. And I've been decent at drawing and creating artwork, but I've never been really focused on having that as like a job or something that I want to do and make money off of.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a hobby that I do here and there. But then I started thinking, crap, I have to get better at drawing. I have to get better at artwork. I have to practice more and more and more. And that was a challenge. So then I made them and made this page. And mind you, I don't know how to build websites.
Yeah.
So I went on YouTube. How do I build a website? I built a crappy little website.
Yeah.
And that I don't do social media.
Oh, I know.
So I didn't know how to like run a page or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had my girlfriend help me out like with the page because I don't want to be on social media. And then point is I started creating these art prints and she's been pushing me. Oh, create one for this, create one for this month, create one for that month. We need something. We need content. We need something.
Yeah.
And then I thought, like, yeah, you're right. And then I did pay a company to make an episode for me.
Okay.
And they screwed it up. They screwed it up pretty bad. And I thought, man, I just kind of wasted, a bunch of money.
Did they not give you money back or like or?
No. No, it sucked. Whatever they made, I had already, because I was gonna make a comic book on these characters.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I have all these storyboard kind of scenes already drawn out, laid out. All you have to do is make a move.
Right.
I told them.
Yeah.
So I sent them all the material, and they made a move, but it looks so shitty, or so stupid that I thought, I'm like, man, you guys suck. I worked with them for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And I
What Was it only one episode and it took that long? Well, I know that it takes long to produce that.
Well, it was like me emailing them, certain ideas that I had,
Mm-hmm.
and I told them to do this, that. Um, but whatever they produced, it was shit. But that told me, okay, so you can't find people who are animators that'll work with you.
Yeah.
You can't even hire a company to do it right. So what are you gonna do?
Do it
Are you gonna
yourself.
just keep making prints and putting them up on, and so
Mm-hmm.
not have a show? So I thought, crap, I gotta go back to school, learn animation, and just do it myself. So that's what I did. I went back to school, and it's funny because I told myself I hated school out of high school. I'm never coming back. It's my second time going back to a different college because
Yeah.
I was not gonna go to Columbia. It was just too expensive.
Yeah.
Um, um, so I went back to school, and I'm in school right now learning animation, and so I could just do it myself. Um, this time I'm gonna finish the degree, just because. But
It's an investment.
but that's the thing though. It shouldn't be this way, man.
No.
It shouldn't be just because it says here that you pass these classes
Yeah.
that you could do the job. That's
Yeah.
such BS because, you know, I've met a bunch of people that have degrees,
Mm.
and they kind of suck. But there's other people that have degrees and they're great.
I can't.
They're great at what they do. And, I just hate that you have to have it written on paper. This person passed this class.
But here's the thing, it's like, listen, I feel like now we're the time is changing where people are going to college. They're not going to college. They're going to do trade schools or trade jobs, or they're, to be honest, they're fucking just filming on their fucking iPhones. They're like figuring it out as long as they're like, they're, how do I, not to say like freelance, almost like a freelance. People, it's shifting. Things are shifting where now maybe school's not like, or a degree isn't the end all. It's not the only solution, and it's just them figuring it out. So,
and to me, it's especially when it comes to artwork,
mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to artwork,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's what I always had in mind. You can tell me that you studied fine arts,
Mm-hmm.
but if your painting looks like shit, I'm not gonna hire you. I'm not gonna buy that painting.
What is it?
If this guy who graduated only like the 8th grade, never went to a high school, but his paintings look amazing,
But
I'm hiring him.
But it isn't art. What is the word? Art is subjective. It's like, it's in the eye of the beholder. So to you, it can look like shit. To somebody, oh my god, I'm like, that's whatever, the Mona Lisa, whatever the fuck,
But that's the same case with producers. You think producers care what school you went to?
No. Like, here's the thing. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and some of them are self-help. Some of them are rewatches of like shows and stuff like that, right? So those rewatch podcasts, they talk about they talk to like crews and this and that, right? And you learn that sometimes some of those people didn't go to school. They just literally they went to like to intern on the job or whatever, or they were hired as an assistant and they just kind of went boop boop boop. You know what I mean? It necessarily didn't go to school for that.
Yeah. The Quentin Tarantino, he never went to film school.
Yeah.
He says himself, my college was that first film project I made, and it was shit. He says it was it was a shitty project. It sucked, but I learned so much. It was as if I got a 4-year degree.
Because it could happen. I feel like that could happen. It's like, as long as you're sometimes doing the job. Like, if you're in there like doing the work, like you're gonna learn. Eventually, you're gonna get it right, or you're gonna get into that rhythm of things. Yeah.
Yeah. And there were things that my teachers still to this day, I'll create a video about something.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. I love when I have the classes where they say, do whatever you want,
Mm-hmm.
do whatever you want, and you know, that's it. Do whatever you want. I love that because I do whatever I want. I do try to write and have the characters say what I want and have it look the way I can.
Yeah, it's creative
Because,
control. You have the creative
yeah,
control to do these things. Yeah.
yeah, and that was the funny part about Colombia because I knew that school was very like liberal,
Mm-hmm.
and they were very, don't don't be offensive. And I remember one of my scripts that I wrote, um, and that we're gonna present to some producer that came to the school. I didn't have it with you. I didn't have this class with you. I had it with,
You're talking.
you know what?
You're talking about the pitching class.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love.
I
Yeah.
had a loved it. So I had a class where we are going to write a pitch about an episode that we wanted to write. And I remember the teacher told me, yeah, you might want to rewrite this, just because it's a little edgy and blah blah blah. And I thought, annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, whatever. I guess I'll change it. So I changed it to another offensive thing. It was still offensive, but I was like, it just these characters just happened to join this party that they thought were cool. They know nothing about it, and then they thought were.
I mean, but that sounds that sounds like you. Like you're once again dark humor, stupid humor, like stupid. I don't know how to say it. I don't know, like you were saying these guys didn't know what the hell it was. You know what I mean? It was like a dumb thing on the characters, you know? But it makes sense like, it makes sense for like your brand. Yeah.
Now I knew what I was writing. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
But I also,
I meant for the characters, like the characters. I know that you're intelligent enough, but I'm talking about the characters. It's almost like yeah, that's what I meant. Like the characters were kind of like didn't know, dumb kind of type of stuff. Once again, your humor, your dark humor, yeah.
And that's what I mean by you can get away with a lot of stuff when they're animated characters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, I kind of found it like a positive challenge to my type of thinking and writing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I even took a class, like a sketch writing class.
Yeah.
And I'm not the type of person that wanted to create little sketches of stuff like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, SNL. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I thought, okay, that'll be a cool challenge for me.
Yeah.
And I went into the class and I knew that in that class I had to be careful because I looked at all the students around me and they were all, I don't know, there was no edge at all to any of these kids. And they were all like cookie cutters, small town, everybody should love each other type of kids. And we grew up on Nickelodeon and Disney.
Stop.
And I thought, like, but I thought this is a good challenge for me because it'll keep me from swearing too much. It'll like I said, it'll just challenge my writing and my writing style and what I think is funny. And it was a cool class. It just for me.
Yeah, you learned something from it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The kids were all lame, and they all they were all into stuff that I wasn't into at all.
But that's because you have a distinct style of what you write or what you like. Like I remember, this is really random, like you and I bonded on like this show, now I can't think of the name of it, but it was a witch show and it was like a very dark
Salem?
Yeah, Salem. Yeah.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm. It was dark. It was dark and is a right word, like the macabre. I don't know how to explain it. It was dark. Yeah.
yeah, around the time I was watching Salem and also Bates Motel, which I also thought was a good show.
I
I
watched
thought was
Basement Hill
a cool
too.
show, Bates
Yeah.
Motel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's like I said. Yeah, that's the way I think about you is like that dark humor with comedy, and then like, yeah, the dark.
and I love horror movies. I love 'em.
Yeah.
But I know that it's really difficult to create a horror movie and be serious throughout and make it scary.
Mhm.
So I always thought, I don't know, I don't know if I can make something horror and serious and
Mhm.
have it land. So I always, give it a comedic, you know, tone.
Mhm.
Uh, it's
But
something
sometimes
silly, something dumb.
they say that about drama and maybe horror, or is that sometimes you do have to have like elements of comedic elements in there, because if it's just that, it just gets to be like it's too heavy. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
the comedy elements alleviates a little bit of that. Yeah.
But you know what? Yes, that is true. But sometimes I love those movies that are just so heavy,
Yeah.
and they don't, they don't, ¿cómo se dice? They don't venture off from being dark and heavy. They double down.
Yeah.
One of those movies, and a lot of people don't like this movie. It's called The Witch. People don't like this movie because they say it's boring. There's very few comedic elements in the movie, and I like that because if the movie's really dark and heavy and has that tone, if you're like immersed and you're in it,
Mm-hmm,
and if something funny happens or something too silly, kind of takes you out of that element.
Takes you out of the world. Yeah, I get what you're
Yeah,
saying. Mm-hmm.
and it's like
Yeah.
that was unnecessary. Disney does that a lot.
No, I took a class. Now I can't even think of the name of it. But I took this class in England, and it's about, I think it's called transmedia. And they also have it at Columbia, or they had it at Columbia. But it's just what I learned from that is that essentially Disney is marketing is very strategic. They are literally they want you to be a customer from essentially from birth to death. That's why they have starting with obviously like the kiddie shows, and then now they what's the word, delve into now like the Marvel and all that stuff. Like they are literally trying to get you to be a customer for life. It's strategic. Yeah. Well, I know it's been a definitely long conversation. We definitely took some twists and turns and went in directions that I didn't even think we were gonna go, but I guess I'll kind of ask before we do kind of sign off. Is there anything else, any questions, or anything that I maybe didn't bring up or ask that maybe you want to say?
No, just follow the it's on Instagram and Facebook. It's Pangummo Adventures.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Just look them up. PAWANGGUMMO Adventures. And I have a comic book that I should have been done with it like 2 months ago, but um, I'm almost finished. I'm gonna be releasing it and announcing it on the social media. You can buy merch at Redbubble.com. That's where we have some of our stuff, and it's just I try to create just things that I would wear, that I think are funny, that I think are cool.
Yeah.
And if other people don't like it, that's totally fine. I just create.
I was gonna say he doesn't care.
I do and I don't. I don't because I'll make what I like and what I feel is cool and funny and interesting, but I do care. Because I want you to. I want to support. I want people to get involved in it, so that it can allow me to create more and more and more. The more people get involved and support it, the more I will be able to create. But but if they don't support it or like it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna create stuff anyway.
Well, you're gonna find your audience. That's the thing. It's like you're gonna find your audience, and there's gonna be people who are gonna love what you do. That's the thing. You just have to. Obviously, it's work, but you have to find those people. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that. So this is what I always think, and it'll help anybody who's looking to get into TV, film, or artwork in general, or even books. There are things that I think absolutely suck, stink, but they're super successful.
Yeah.
A lot of people love it. You know, they think it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And you can always tell yourself, I can make something that bad. And you know, and you gotta go ahead and do it, because I mean, it's like
if you don't put yourself out there, then you never know. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, you just will never know if you don't put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You just have to. You have to try first, and that's what it is. You know. Yeah.
Look, I'm trying. I want to make cartoons, and when I look at a cartoon like Steven Universe, I think, man, that show sucks. but so many people are involved in creating it, and it was popular for a certain amount of time. And I think, okay, you know, mine can. I don't know how mine can be worse than that, but maybe it could, and it could still be better. It could still be popular.
Once again, this is his opinion, people.
Yeah. So like I said, whenever you think like your ideas suck, look at things that you think just absolutely stink and are so bad, but they make money. They're popular. People love it. And like I said, you might think your ideas suck, but you never know. As long as you like it, like I said, that's why I make things that I like, because as long as I like it, there has to be one other person out there that likes it too.
Well, I just feel like you're authentic to yourself. You are releasing stuff that, like you said, you would like, and it's authentically you, and that's what it is.
Yeah. I'm not. You know, I just I don't. I try to not take it too seriously. Honestly.
Yeah.
It's not that serious. You know.
Yeah.
Just you know, it's cartoons are cartoons, and my approach was make it silly, make it goofy, make it funny, make it interesting, and do what you know.
To wrap this up, I just want to say thank you, obviously, for sitting down and talking with me. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I also want to say kind of like thank you, because, you know, you are one of those people that when it comes to TV jobs, I usually will always be like, oh my god, I'm doing this, you know, and you're always like, so, at least it seems, maybe you're not, but at least it always seems like you're super excited for me, and I feel that support whenever I get like that text message, you know, so I just want to say thank you.
Oh no, definitely, you're welcome, because I am excited when you get a job, when you say that, oh, you know, I'm going to, you know, Miami, I'm gonna go, you know, work at this event, we're gonna be doing the show. Dude, that's exciting for me, because this is what you wanted, and for me to see somebody who I went to school with actually getting some of these jobs that they wanted to be a part of, you know, it because it's like, what's the point of what's the point of wanting something if you don't actually try? You know, and you've tried and you've tried and you've gotten to work on those shows, so that's pretty cool, you know. And the more you get to know, maybe you could tell me, hey, you know, this is happening here, and then I can possibly get an idea of what I want to do next or something.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm just happy for you. My main thing is, you know, I like the people everybody likes a person who says, I'm gonna do this, and then they actually do it.
I also want to end this episode by saying thank you to everybody that's out here listening to my episodes, my friends and family, and I know for some, I think there's some random people that are out there listening. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your time and energy for just even sitting and listening to this podcast. Lastly, I would appreciate it if you could leave me a review on here, and would be grateful if you could let me know what information resonated with you. Please follow and share on social media. The pages are at Se Vuelve Podcast, or my personal's at Se Vuelve Monica. Once again, thank you so much for listening. Nos vemos pronto. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.